Hi, I'm Chrissy. Welcome to Pursuit of Momming. I just wanted to do a quick video while I'm feeding my daughter, and it's on the subject of breastfeeding and tongue ties. When she was born, we did see that she had a tongue tie. That's the little flesh underneath your tongue. Hers was really tight, so she had like a heart-shaped tongue. And it was also pointed out to us by the midwife and the nurse with tongue ties and also lip ties. There's the potential to inhibit breastfeeding. So they just told us to keep an eye out on that. And that's something that I experienced with my firstborn, Jonah, as well. His wasn't quite as bad, I don't think, because we never had to do anything about it. A slow eater and slow to gain weight, so getting it fixed might have helped that. But anyway, with my daughter Rachel, I figured I would just see how things went. And sometimes she would have sort of a shallow latch, and I would just readjust her and then she'd be fine. And she took kind of a long time, but so did Jonah. And she was having plenty of dirty diapers and wet diapers, and she was a pretty content baby, and she still is. So I didn't think she was having any problems. So after babies are born, they lose a little bit of weight and then they slowly gain it back over the next several weeks. They usually want to see them return to their birth weight by 2 weeks. So she had lost some weight as expected at our first home visit, which was 2 days after she was born. But then the next day she had gained a little bit of weight and my milk had come in as well. So she was getting lots of milk and it looked like things were going well. But then at her 2-week checkup, she had actually lost weight. So she weighed even less than she did at her first home visit. And I was freaked out. I never had that happen with Jonah. Like I said, he was just slow to gain, but he never lost weight once he had started gaining weight again. So yeah, I was freaked out. I felt like I was negligent for not noticing, although I was sort of thinking that she looked a little bit scrawnier than she was at birth, but I was hoping it was just in my head, having anxiety because of my experience with Jonah. And I felt like I had failed her because as a mom with a newborn, you have 2 jobs: keep them safe and feed them. And I felt like I was failing her. And I know that's not true, but that's just how I felt. And once the pediatrician left the exam room, I started crying. I felt overwhelmed. Even though the pediatrician was very kind with the way she talked to me about it, I didn't feel like I was being shamed or criticized at all. She gave me some good options and good advice to try out. The options that I was given was to just give her a bottle of breast milk that I pump once a day. She also brought up the tongue tie again. So the pediatrician gave me a referral to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And the next day I called to set up an appointment because it seems like the most likely thing that was giving her trouble. So I wanted to see what they said and have it fixed as soon as possible. I just wanted to make sure she didn't get too hungry or weak from struggling to eat enough. So I did that. I was able to get an appointment the next day. I wasn't too nervous because I know other moms who have done it, and they've said that their babies did really well, and it's better to do it when they're young, like really little, because it'll heal quickly. And I read up on what the procedure would be like before I went in. So I knew that she was going to be taken to another room and I wouldn't be able to be with her during it, which I felt a little sad about, but I understand, and it probably would have been sort of awful seeing it happen. I went in and the ENT confirmed that it was in fact a tongue tie, a pretty severe one. He let me know what they would do. They would just clip it and there wouldn't be much bleeding, and he'd bring her right back out to me so I could breastfeed her, and that's what we did. And I didn't, thankfully, wherever the procedure was, I couldn't hear any crying. And when he brought her back in, she wasn't crying. She didn't look upset. She just looked tired. And I started breastfeeding her right away, and there was a little bit of blood around her mouth that had just like leaked out with drool. But it was all gone by the time she was done nursing. She did really well. So her next pediatrician appointment, just to check her weight, was the next week, 10 days after the previous appointment. And I was really nervous. Like, I felt like she was eating quicker and looking a little bit plumper, but I was wrong before, so I didn't know if I was wrong again. And the last time I had thought she'd been doing okay and was totally shocked that she wasn't, and I was afraid that that would happen again. But we went and got her weighed, and she had gained 11 ounces in 10 days, which is awesome. A half an ounce to an ounce is expected per day for babies in the first month, so that was really good. She wasn't back at her birth weight yet, but she had her 1 month visit the following week, so they would find out if she was continuing to gain. And so we had that appointment today, and she flew right past her birth weight and is almost a pound over her birth weight now. So she's doing really well. She's not gaining like more than she should. She's gaining as much as she should, like on the higher side. So I think it might slow down a little bit now, because I think she was just kind of playing catch up from lost time. Like, I think the weight that she is now is about what she would be if she didn't have that dip. But I'm just really grateful that it seemed to help her, and I wanted to share. If any other moms are having trouble with their babies gaining weight or breastfeeding or latching, not all physicians take notice of tongue ties and lip ties. I'm grateful that mine did, and also that I was familiar with them already. So that's something to explore as well. If you're having any breastfeeding issues, don't be afraid of the procedure. It helps them. I'm sure it does hurt, but only very briefly. And it's just really worth it for helping them get their nourishment better and gain weight and make things easier on both of you, and give you the peace of mind that you're taking care of your child. So I wanted to add that I'm not focusing at all on growth charts other than her own personal growth, and just making sure that she's gaining as much weight per day as breastfed babies are expected to. And this is the now 3.5-year-old that that I had trouble with when I was breastfeeding him. And my friend Liz Chang is a lactation consultant, and she helped me both times. She helped me when I was having trouble with pediatricians who were very focused on growth charts and not as much his personal growth. And she helped advocate for me. And after having a consult with us and seeing that he was gaining weight, and she helped me this time too.
Hi, Chrissy. I just wanted to congratulate you and your family for the beautiful gift of giving birth to your second baby, your baby girl. I am very pleased and very excited for all that you have done in your strength and your wisdom as a mother that had chosen to nurture your family through human milk, through breastfeeding. It has been a pleasure me seeing you grow as a mother. I remember me visiting you when you had your first son and encouraging you about breastfeeding. Although you already were breastfeeding at that time, I remember you so clear those times with your older son. Now, through the use of telehealth, you have allowed me to be there, supporting you, encourage you, giving you tips and ideas and tools as you've chosen to breastfeed your baby girl. And it's just very beautiful to see you growing, not only as a wife but also as a mother, and then growing in the understanding in the importance of human milk. My name is Liz Chan. I am the founder and owner of Pretty Mama Breastfeeding. I am a certified lactation counselor, and I offer my services through telehealth. That's how Chrissy and I have been able to continue the conversation about breastfeeding, and for me to empower her through education about human milk. Thank you again, Chrissy. Congratulations to you and to John and to all those that are celebrating your achievements as a new mom. Take care.
So let me know in the comments if you've faced something similar when breastfeeding, whether it be a tongue tie or lip tie, and what you did, or if you're still considering what to do. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.